Okay, so such type of assets are called as intangible assets, and in that intangible asset, one of the important, I can say, the asset of a human being is the brain, which he has got. Okay, so whenever the asset which we buy, like tangible properties, for that we put some human efforts, and from that we gain it. But the intellectual which we have got, with which we are doing certain things, we are producing certain things, that should also get value. So because of it, this intellectual property concept has come into picture. So it is not related to just a work, but it is a relation with the mind and brain. So that's why we call this type of intellectual property as creation of mind. So when we are saying creation of mind, what can be there, or how there are various type of creations which we can apply with our brain and mind. So based on that, that is been divided into this type of six properties or six intellectual properties. There is one more which I will add it later. But these are the main six properties, that is patents, trademarks, copyrights, industrial designs, trade secret, and geographical indications. So now, when one is saying IP, what do you mean by that? It is a property which is creation of your mind and which has both moral and commercial value. So, just having a creativity is not important, but if it is commercialized and it has a value, then only it will be a you can claim a right for it, and it will be beneficial for you. So that's why a property should give you some returns. Certain returns should be given to you on that particular property. So that property should be valuable. So that's why we can say that IP is very important. So coming to the different types of IP, first comes into mind is patent. So when we say intellectual property, we always think of patents first. Nowadays, all the students are also thinking of it because of Startup India campaign, and a lot of boost is given for entrepreneurship, and people are getting funding for starting with their startups. So that time they should have some unique idea. They should come up with some inventions. Then only that particular startup will get the demand. So the innovative minds are very much appreciated for startups. So that's why patents are very important. So these patents are nothing but the inventions. So invention related to what? It may be a product, it may be a processes, or it may be a single material or any combinations. So on all these type of thing, you can invent something, and with that you can get a product patent on it. Okay, so you are providing certain technical solution to a technical problem. So you can see here that we have a mobile phone on our everyone has mobile phone, and it has evolved a lot. So previously we were having just a simple small screen and the buttons on it, but nowadays the aesthetics and the appearance and the different functionalities which are being added in the mobile phone are day by day enhancing the user experience. So the technology is evolving, and on each of this single change or single enhancement can be patented. So you can think about this touchscreen technology, which can be patented, which is patented actually. So finger point sensors are there. You can even say the for the security purpose, the face recognition. Face recognition is given in your phone. So seeing at your face and recognizing the access is given to the mobile phone. So all these type of technical inventions are patented. We are going to see these patterns in detail. So I'm not covering much at this time, but we'll cover it later. Then second type is industrial designs. So when we are saying industrial design, so think of the different cars coming up. So if you have you seen any time that the two companies are producing same type of car, or same type of car in the sense of same design. Okay, so every time the design varies from company to company, because every time when you are coming with a symbol, some product, that design can also be patented as an industrial design patents. Okay, so how what things here you can patent are the external features which are appealing to the eye. So it can be a shape, it can be a pattern or configuration. So here no technical things are covered, but the outside how it is looking, what is the appearance of that particular thing is changing, and that if it is innovative, it is new, and not no one else is given or claimed a right on it, yes, obviously you can patent it. So you must be knowing that on iPhone there was a button in the middle, and that type of button is the actually the face of the iPhone. So that will be recognized that yes, it is an iPhone. So that type of layout and design was unique to the Apple phones. So this type of technology no one else can copy. So if you don't want others to copy your copy your intellectual property, then you have to register that property in these certain types of intellectual property rights. Okay, so next type of thing is trademarks. So what is trademarks? It is mostly used for branding a business. So whenever we are saying we talk, you can see here there is a McDonald's arch over here. So whenever we go, we are on the way of on the way or highways are there, and if you see such this arch, we come to know no there is a McDonald's nearby, and we can route there. So this symbolize that particular company or brand, and which is bringing a value to that brand. So that's why people are making trademarks, or people are registering trademarks for their uniqueness or their symbols. So trademarks can be either it can be a visual symbol or a word or a name or a logo or label. So you can say that if a simple logo is there, let's say Lee Cooper is there. So he has patented his name, also trademark his name as the for his branding, company branding. So monograms, slogans, everything can be trademarked or registered. Why? Because no one else should copy it or use it for their branding. So that particular thing is uniquely presenting their businesses. So that's why trademarks are important. So you must have known about the Coca-Cola bottle. So Coca-Cola bottle has got that Coca-Cola written in the middle of a bottle. So that is even trademark. So no one else can use that letters and style of writing that letters for that purpose. So that you are restricting others to use that particular thing for you by registering it. So if you have observed the product, sometimes it is written as TM or R on the particular product name. So or a logo. So that what do we mean by that? It is when it is written as TM, it is a trademark, but it is they have applied for that trademark to get registered. That is the meaning of that TM. But when you are saying when it is written as R, that means the actually that particular logo or symbol is registered as trademark. So that is the difference between that TM and R, which is written and shown on the products, so that people will come to know that no one should try to copy it because it is already applied for trademark or it is already registered for trademark. So this is indicating the origin of goods and services through the trademarks. Coming to the next type is copyright. So, being an academician and students, we always try to, whenever we publish something or whenever we write something, we have a copyright on it, provided it is not plagiarized. And that this is like the opposite of copyright writing is like plagiarism, where someone else has written a particular thing or someone else has created something and you are showing the rights for it. So that is to be prohibited, and that prohibition can be done through the use of the intellectual property called as copyrights. So copyrights relates to your artistic, literary, and musical or dramatic creations. Mostly, these copyrights are used in movies or songs which have been created, the lyrics which has been written. So all this type of artistical thing, even the drawings can be copyrighted. Even books are there. So whenever you are created your own thing, which is totally original, then obviously you can claim a right on it. So you must be knowing about Chetan Bhagat's books. So all these books and stories are unique and copyrighted. So whenever a Dangal picture is produced, they have to buy copyrights from Chetan Bhagat's to reproduce it as a movie. So mostly this type of rights are giving you certain returns. That's why copyright taking rights or IPR are very important. So you have a proprietary right on it, and comes this is like comes into existence as soon as the work is created. So not like a patent, but copyright takes less time to get registered. There is a site on ipindia.nic. In site is there where you can apply for copyrights. So even in computer software, some of the programs which you write as being a computer engineer or computer students, these programs if you write and it is a unique thing in terms of efficiency, complexity, or even you have come up with some different idea and coded something in different manner, that computer software also can be copyrighted. So you must have seen that most of the times we copy or we install Microsoft Word and everything. That is, there is a licensing. So if you don't buy a license and if you are copying it right now, so you are doing some infringing the rules and or laws, and that's why you should have the license copy of any of the software. So these all softwares are actually copyrighted. Okay. Now the next thing is geographical indications. Now what do you mean by that? That particular area of the place may have their own spatial uniqueness. Or if you have you must have known about Darjeeling tea. It is very famous. So this type of things which is only been originated from that particular geographical area, that can be copyright, so that can be registered as intellectual property under the geographical indications. Okay, this geographical indication identifies agricultural, natural, or manufactured foods originating from a different definite territory in India. So you must, if you can see this, what is this? This is you obviously you must have identified it. This is a Tirupati laddus. These Tirupati laddus are uniqueness or the identity of that particular place. So Tirupati. So that's why this type of speciality of any geographical indications can be registered and should be claimed so that no one else can copy it. So you can have Kolhapuri chappals or Alfonsos from Ratnagiri. All these things are registered as intellectual property because they have their own originality from that particular geographical region. So it possesses a special quality or reputation based upon the unique characteristic of the geographical location. So this is type of IP, that is geographical indications. So you can see here that these are just copies of Bollywood movies actually. So this when this is Sarkar is made, it was taken from this Bollywood movie, and all these things when it is copied, it is infringing the rights. So they have to buy the rights from the original creator, and they have to pay for it, and then only they can reproduce it for themselves. So this is like how a particular person can get benefited or rewarded from their creation of mind, the original person. So that's why here also I would like to highlight that why we should not do a plagiarism, because someone else has written something, published something, and it is their own idea. They have spent a lot of time and efforts on it, and when someone is just taking the material from them and reproducing it, it is very unfair means for that particular person who has originally written it. So that's why that person. So we cannot stop others. So to stop others from infringing such rights, they have to get registered so that they will have the legal rights on that particular material. So that's why nowadays this plagiarism concept is seriously taken, and laws have become very tight to take actions against it. The next type is trade secret. So trade secret is one of the different types of, if I cannot say it as a patent, but a formula or something which you don't want to or never want to disclose. So if it is the case, then you can say that it is a trade secret. So you don't have to register it, but you can have contracts between the people. Why? Because if I'm saying that, let's take an example of this Coca-Cola thing only. You know that Coca-Cola was whatever was the previous product was there, it was having a different test, and the formula, or it was having a particular formula for it. So the people who were producing it may must have, maybe they may leak that formula. So some contracts are being done between the company owner and this who are there as a worker, so that they should not leak that formula and keep that formula as trade secret. So if such kind of things are there, they can be made as a trade secret. Why? Because they don't want to disclose their technology so that others can copy and come into the as a competition for them. So that's why these trade secret are there. But this is actually this is demotivating. And if just think of that, if someone has invented a small, or let's say take an example of computer. So they someone has um, design a computer and they are not disclosing the technology, how one would have come up with the technology which is now existing. So everyone should share the knowledge, and actually with this motto only, these intellectual properties have taken into picture, so that people can share the knowledge, and the knowledge which is originally created will get benefit, and even with that knowledge other can enhance that knowledge or add up something to bring the more value to it. But so this trade secret is nothing but which is not known to others. It is kept as secret, but it is a economical valuable, and it is there should be some certain reasons to maintain the secrecy. So not only the formula, but even people keep their customer list as trade secret. They keep their business methods as trade secret. The example of KFC, the KFC chicken, or you can say the sauces used in McDonald's, they are having the special formula for making it, and they have not disclosed it, and they have kept it as trade secret formula. So, so far, whatever intellectual property types we have seen, you can say that it is not necessary that a single product will have a single intellectual property inside in it, but it can have a multiple things in together. So you can see here that Coca-Cola bottle, it has have four types of IPs with it. So this special shape of Coca-Cola bottle has got the industrial design patent. The formula which is used for making this Coca-Cola drink is a trade secret formula. Even you can see this the Coca-Cola written on it, the way it is written, and even the shape of the bottle is also trademark for the Coca-Cola bottle. Even this, even the packaging art, whatever is used, is been documented, and that documentation is also copyrighted. So you can see a single bottle has multiple IPs, and that is also possible. You can also take an example of a car. You can say a car is there. So let's take an example of Mercedes or something. So Mercedes logo is a trademark for it. Even the technology they are using, they are patenting it. the design which is there for a particular Mercedes car is being industrial design patent. Even whatever are the technology or the specification of that particular car is there, which is been copyrighted. So a single product can have a multiple IPs, and every IP is giving returns to that particular business. So that is the main motto of it, that whatever property is there, why we are investing in property, because we want that we should get certain returns out of it. So that's why this type of intellectual properties are also very important. So your brain and mind are so much valuable that using your creative minds, you can earn much more than the actual tangible properties. So the last property which I have mentioned is the semiconductor integrated circuit. This is also can be patented, but under different IPR Act, that is Semiconductor Integrated Circuits. So why it is so? Because initially it was there that whatever ICs like VLSI technologies are there. So VLSI technology, every time the IC design is changing, every time the size of the ICs are cutting down. So now there are small chips. Initially the pen drives were very big or hard disks were very big. Now the hard disk size has reduced because the ICs used in it, that components, transistors and everything are being reduced. So when it is reduced, then you have given a different layout or a design for it. So when you are designing such thing, you are putting your efforts, you are putting your creativity and logic for designing such ICs. So now if it is there, so that should also be rewarded or valued. That's why this layout design has come in Act in 2000. The Act is modified and new IPR has come into picture. That is semiconductor integrated circuit. So this layout design can be registered as IPR. So it has been it should not be commercially exploited for more than 2 years from the date of application for the registration, and which should be inherently distinctive and capable of being distinguishable from any other registered layout design. And it is also protected for 10 years. So actually, nowadays many high performance computing devices are coming due to revolution in IT industry. So what happens is, whatever are the IC, whatever is the design was coming, that if the patent procedure is very long procedure, and it takes years to get patented. So but in every minute or in every year, new technology comes up, and because of that the layout design also gets changes. So if a person is applied for a patent of IC and it is getting a patent after 7 years, then that technology has become, or that layout has become obsolete. So people were not getting the benefit of it. That's why this was been separated from the Patent Act, and it is came under this semiconductor integrated circuit layout design for for copyright registering as an IPR. So that was the reason why IC or a design of a IC can be registered as a different IP. This is something like, whatever are the IPRs are there, each one has some period of validity. So patents, if you are filing and if you are getting grant, this protection of rights you are getting for 20 years. But when you are getting a patent, then that patent should be renewed every year. So that is some patent maintenance fee, which is there prescribed in Patent Act 1970. So every year you have to pay some renewal fee for maintaining it. So otherwise it gets revoked or abandoned. Even trademark is given, it can be renewed for lifelong time, but after 10 years you have to renew every year this trademark. Otherwise you lose a right from it. Even design, you have 15 years का maximum protection. So 15 years that design gets validated or right you get. but after 10 years you have to renew it for next 5 years. Even copyright, you have got a 60 years, but you don't have to renew it once you got a copyright of it 60 years. And then under that you have that you can enjoy those benefits. Geographical indications are also given a maximum protection. After 10 years you have to renew it again and again. So that is the validity period for these copyrights. Even I said that IC, integrated circuits, has got the 10 years ka validation. Now coming to the actual topic, that is patents, I will be more elaborating and how to do patent, why to do patent, who can do patent, and what is the procedure that we are going to study. I will be elaborating on it. So before that, there is a concept, that is invention versus innovation. So what do you mean by invention and what is innovation? Okay. So when we are saying that the creation of a product or introduction of a process for the first time, you have invented something. So I have given this example. You can see here that this is the car. Actually, this is a three-wheeled car or a vehicle powered by a gas engine, which was designed or produced or created by Carl Benz in the year 1886. So this was the first vehicle, this was actually a revolution in automobile industry, where this vehicle was designed and created, and this vehicle was used, and the wife of Carl Benz traveled 180 kilometer by this vehicle. This is a vehicle powered by gas engine, and that for this vehicle, Carl Benz has filed a patent, and he has got a patent. That is, the number is given. So that was actually the invention. That is the first time someone has put in front of the to people that this type of vehicle is possible, and with which, with less human efforts, we can go a long travel. So that is nothing but the invention. And now see the innovation. This is the Mercedes car which is now present, and what is the difference? So this is the difference between invention and innovation. But if you can think, so obviously we can see that innovation is very much better than this invention. But this is like a birth certificate for this. So until and unless the invention comes into picture, innovation can't happen. So that's why invention is that also has an importance over an innovation. Yes, innovation also has got importance because until and unless you do certain changes in it, you do certain enhancement in it, you cannot going to find out certain enhancement or performance enhancement in any of the product. So invention is also important and innovation is also important, but the person who is inventing should get rewarded. So that's why the patent should be filed when it is new, novel. Okay. Now, when I'm saying innovation, so does innovation can't be patented? It is not like that. Innovation also can be patented, but not the whole design, but on which or what was the inventive step you have taken, which was not there previously, can be treated as innovation, and only that part or that inventive step or that part of a product can be patented, which is also introduced first time. So this is like innovation flows from invention. So invention is the birth and the innovation is the revolution. Okay. So this is the how we can differentiate between invention and innovation. So with this, if you want to say that what is patent, how we can say the patent, why when I should go for patent or patenting certain technology, or why, what is patent? So patent is nothing but it is an exclusive rights given to person for complete disclosure of the invention. Now, when we are saying complete disclosure of the invention, why this is very important, that until and unless I will disclose the technology, how other person can make use of it. So, if you want people to disclose their knowledge so that society will get benefited from it, the inventor should get rewarded. So now, when a person comes with a new idea, new product, he patents it. He patents it means what? He disclosed the whole thing, that how I have done this, how it will get operated, and what are the different design specification of it. Everything has been disclosed. Then this type of application is examined for the invention and novelty, and if it is get approved, then a person gets grant of that particular product and a patent or a rights on it, so that he can say that yes, I have designed it and I have a right over it. So if you want to use it, then ask permission from me. Give some rewards to me, then only I will allow you to do or use that particular technology. So this grant of product now, that's why it is we want inventors to completely disclose the technology and not to trade secret. Now there is a, you can see the comparison, whether we should motivate to people to keep it trade secret or should go for patenting. So these are two different or opposite ideas over here as intellectual property. That one doesn't want that some other competitor comes to me, come into my competition and take out my business or my business. So that's why I will keep it as trade secret. And other person who is patenting it is saying that yes, this is the technology. You want to use it, you can use it, but give me the rewards. So this is the two way how you can get the rewards from these two types of intellectual property. So this I say now I said that there is a validity period, that there are 20 years from of the date of filing that particular person is getting that right. Now why this period is given, that once I have created it, yes, I should have it for lifelong. But why this type of concept has come, that there should be a validity. So you must have we know about the generic medicines. So now, what is this concept of generic medicines? That 20 years ago, let's say, there was a chemical composition and with which some drugs are formed, and for which people have filed a patent on it and they have got a grant. So what was happening, that whenever that product is imported in our country, that time the licensing fee and all the patent fee has, that share has to be given to that particular inventor. So that's why the cost of that particular patent or the particular product was very high. So people could not afford it. So before this generic medicine came into picture, this medicine which we need to import, we cannot produce it. So that's why we have to pay more money to them. So after 20 years, so then what should be the limit or what should be the beneficial period given to that particular inventor? That is been decided that yes, after 20 years, it should come into public domain and it should be open. That technology should be open to all the other public. So that's why now after 20 years, some of the license patents of the particular drugs are being expired, and now the local companies are able to produce or manufacture that product in India itself, and that's why the cost of manufacturing and licensing came down, and now we can get the generic medicine at the low cost. So that is the motto behind that. Yes, person should enjoy the benefits of its intellectual property, but there should be a limit, and that limit is 20 years. So this is one of the concepts for the validity period of any intellectual property. Now the next is patent is a territorial rights. Now what do you mean by territorial rights? Territorial rights means what? That if I am filing a patent in India, then I am just reserving my patent rights in India only. Now, what are the rights? This is like a monopolistic rights, the monopolistic rights to the owners are we can exclude others to make, use, sell, offer for sale, import the product or process. Okay, even we cannot produce the same product without a consent of that particular patentee. Correct. So these are like a monopolistic rights. So I am restricting everyone to use any of the technology related to my patent. Now these rights are applicable to where? These rights are only applicable to that particular country only. So even if you want to reserve the same rights in another country, you have to again do the procedure of filing a patent and paying a fees for it in that particular country, so that you can reserve rights to other in other countries too. That's why it is called as territorial rights. So when I'm saying that my it is my US patent, so that time I have filed the procedure. I have also carried out the filing procedure of patent in the US, and then I have done all the examination according to the US government's laws and the Patent Act of the US, that is USPTO, and accordingly I have got a grant of patent in the US, and then I am reserving my rights of product in that US country also. So this is like a negative rights actually, but these negative rights are given to why? To provide an incentive to individuals for new creations, to provide to give a recognition to the creators and inventors. So when we are saying why I'm doing so much hard work, why I'm doing this in my job or something like that, or even why students are giving their best because they want to get rewarded with good marks, good salaries. Correct. So there should be some motivation whenever you're coming with some creative minds or creative ideas. So that is the motto that person should get rewarded. So should get incentives. It should get recognition. It should get some materialized rewards. Means in terms of money and not yeah wow wow बहुत अच्छा किया. That is not possible. That is not only required, but some rewards also should be given to that particular inventor and make this technology giving this patenting rights. We are also availing or we are also motivating that person to disclose its technology and idea so that other person can also make use of it. So make available genuine original product to others. So these are actually the benefits of patenting. So though it is negative rights, they have got a very good intention. So and also we have put a limit for that negative rights, that is 20 years. So so this is related to how the patent idea came into picture. So now, if we want to patent something, so what can be patented? So there are also laws. So there is a Indian Patent Act Law 1970, where all the sections or around 162 sections are there, and every section there are various rules, and under that they have all rules and required satisfactory criteria are written to what can be patented, what should not be patented, what should be carried out in a particular condition. Everything is written in that Indian Patent Act. Okay, so what can be patented then? The invention which must fall into one of the five statutory classes. That is, it can be a process, it can be a machine, manufacturers, composition of matter, or any of the new use of these all things. Correct. So this all can be treated as invention and can be patented. So this, but only it is a process of doing this. Only this is not sufficient. Then it should fulfill all these three criteria. What are these three criteria? The invention must be useful, should have industrial application. Now we want the rewards to be given to the inventor. So that time, whatever invention you have come up with should have some industrial application. So just doing say that saying that I have designed this particular small mat. Okay, so that small mat have an industrial application that in travel it will be useful, or it is enhancing some technology, or it is enhancing some functionality in a particular product, then only we can say that it is patentable. So the invention must be useful, should have an industrial application, it should be novel. So it should be new. So when I'm saying patent should be on inventions. Innovation, so we can say all inventions can lead to invention can lead to innovation, but all and so invention can be patented, but all innovations cannot be patented, because it may happen that those innovations are nothing but some combination of already existing things. So if it is not novel, you cannot patent it. So okay, so invention must be novel and invention must be non-obvious. So to the person skilled in art, this is very important that the invention must be non-obvious to the person skilled in art. Means what? If I am saying that I have designed or I have designed this mobile, and this mobile so I have designed some touch screen on it, or say voice assistant on it. So now if that voice assistant is there, and if I go to some illiterate person, he doesn't know about anything about mobile, and I show this device and say you say something and this will get typed, so he will say, "Arey wow, this is very novel, this is very new." But if I have seen this, oh, you have used this library for this, and that's why this is getting reflected on your screen. So I know the technology. So person skilled in arts, to him, it should not be obvious. So that is very important, that it should be useful, it should be novel, and it should be non-obvious to the person skilled in art. There are certain things which are non-patentable too. So when we are going for a patent, it involves some cost also, because filing procedure has some fees. You have to draft it in a proper manner. So when you are going for a patent, you should think that whether my idea is eligible for patenting or not. So before that, you should also think that what is non-patentable things, which I should not think of a patenting thing. So what are those? So under section 4, it is written that invention relating to the atomic energy is not patentable because it is harmful to human mankind. So that's why this atomic energy related products or invention, though it is inventive, though it is non-obvious, it is useful, then also in India it is prohibited to use to patent an idea on the relation related to atomic energy. Okay, then in section 3 there are certain 10 to 12 matters or subject matters which are not patentable. The first is the thing that something which is frivolous, and this is obvious and like a natural law. So if I'm saying that yes, I have invented that sun rises at the east, so if I'm saying that, this is foolish, this is all obvious thing. So such kind of things cannot be patented. Second is the invention which is which is not good for the human mankind, or which is related to commercial exploitation, contrary to the morality or the public order. If such kind of things, if you're I have come up with the invention for creating a bomb. Okay, so that bomb may not is not good for the society, or even the recent example that we are saying, that COVID, during this pandemic thing, that from where this coronavirus came, it was not earlier present. So how suddenly it has arrived? So people are saying that it is made in the lab. So it is come up with the lab experiment or some composition. So this virus, can it be patented? So this type of technology which is not good for the human mankind cannot be patented. So though it is novel, though it has given some people very lot of benefits, but it was not, it was inhuman actually. So such kind of things or such kind of inventions are not patented. So gambling machine, device for housebreaking, biological warfare material or a device, terminator gene technology, all these things, destructive things, are not promoted, and hence it is not patentable under this section 3. Even if you are coming with some scientific principle, like let's say example of Archimedes principle you have come up with, or E equal to mc square, you are saying that this type of equation or formula you can patent it, but using this formula, if you are coming with some process or a method, then yes, you can go for the patenting purpose. So that is also there, that only a simple discovery of a scientific principle or the formulation of an abstract theory cannot be patented. Fourth is like if there is a one form of substance. Let's take an example of salt. So salt has multiple different variations like esters, ethers, polymers. All this is type of salts. Okay, so if you are coming with a substance which is already there and known, and you are just finding out a new property of it, then you cannot patent that particular invention. This is not that cannot be called as a invention. So if you are saying a neem is used for some antifungal thing, and so can we use for can we go for a patent? So no, that already we know the uses of neem, so we cannot patent it. Okay. Then the next is a just a mixture. If you are saying you are taking one product, if you are taking second product and you are just combining it, and if you are saying yes, this is a new invention, so you cannot say that this is an invention, this is not novelty, because we know the property of this product also, property of this product also, and just you are combining it. So when you are saying you are combining it, no, it is not a new invention and you cannot go for patenting. So for example, if you have paracetamol and if you have brufen, so you know all the properties of all these two substances, and you have just composite it and you have come up with a drug, then you cannot say that this is a new product and I can patent it. But yes, if you do a mixture which will change the synergistic properties and add a new value or new benefit from it, then yes, it can be patented. So let's say a soap. So when you are saying you are taking different products, so you say it is a neem soap. So in that case, you have taken some properties from neem and haldi, and then you have done some chemical compositions on it, and you have come up with some new product which has been used for different other uses too. That time you can patent it, obviously. Even arrangement or rearrangement of same duplication of known devices is not patentable. Even a method for agriculture or horticulture is not patentable. So the instruments used for agriculture, yes, you can patent it, but the method which is being used for agricultural purpose cannot be patented in India. There is one more clause that which is not patentable is the process for the medicinal, surgical, curative, prophylactic, diagnostic, therapeutic, all these type of medicinal processes you cannot patent because this is must or need for the human mankind. So that time, like example, like if you want to patent a procedure for removal of cancer tumor or some dental plaque or caries, these are some medicinal processes and which are needed for the human to recover from a particular disease. So that's why this type of medicinal processes cannot be patented. But if it is a method, if that is a method which is like you have taken up a tissue and you are performing something, some experiment on it, and with which you are coming with a methodology which is not actually done on the human being, then that type of thing method can be patented. So it depends on how you are using or how you are applying your idea in what way. So sometimes it happens that you come up with some medical application. Like in my case, I have designed one patent for real-time healthcare system. So what was that healthcare system that considering this wristband is there, Apple Band or Apple Watch is there where you can monitor the vital signals. Now these vital signals can be monitored on mobile, and on that you can find out the different trends applying the machine learning techniques on it. So this was my patent actually. I have filed it in 2011 and I got a grant it in 2020 actually. But that process is related to medical but not actually on human being. It was a continuously monitoring of the human vital signal and finding out any abnormality happening in the real time. So for that purpose, I have got a patent, but this is how it is excluded from this under section 3I. So whenever you patent it, there will be an examination and you get a different queries from the controller, and that time you have to answer it smartly so that you can justify your answer, justify your technology, that how it doesn't come under section 3, and hence how it can be a patentable thing. Okay, so that is very important. Even plants and animals, if you find a different species of it, then that cannot be patentable. It is just a discovery. Mathematical or a business method or a computer program or algorithm is not patentable under Patent Act. So, as I said, that this can be copyrighted. This cannot be patented. So, copyrighted rights are something different, and the patent rights are something different. So now the computer people will say that if computer programs or softwares are not patentable, then how I can do a patent? So that time the clause is that if you use your computer program or an algorithm with some kind of hardware or some technology, then yes, you are embedding a computer program in some the other another device, and then you can come up with some product. Then yes, that particular technology or a process can be patented. So for computer students also, it is not the case that yes, अरे हम लोग तो सिर्फ algorithm लिख रहे हैं. So if we are writing only algorithms, and that cannot be patented, but you have put some innovative ideas like artificial intelligence techniques are being used in most of the applications, and they are used in such a manner that it is enhancing the technology. So if you are coming with such an idea, and if you combine it with some device, even if a mobile device also will be used, it is also allowable. So that type of if you frame your patent in that manner, so then yes, you can also file a patent with a device and a computer program to have a process or innovative process. Okay. Then literary, dramatic, musical or artistic works or any aesthetic creation. So this is like music and everything can be copyrighted, they cannot be patented. Even rule of method of performing mental act or method of playing a game. It is like if I am saying that there is a chess board, and on that chess board I have invented an idea how to win that game like that. So that cannot be patented. A presentation of information, topography of integrated circuits, they come under different copyrights and integrated circuits. And now the fifth key part, that is an invention which in effect is traditional knowledge, or which is an aggregation or duplication of known properties of traditional known component or known components are not patentable. Now here there is a classic example of recent example of turmeric. Okay, so that the some of the companies have filed a patent in India on turmeric, that the uses of turmeric for healing of the wounds. But here, our scientists like Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar and all the government authorities have challenged this patent that was granted actually in India also and in US also, that yes, turmeric used for healing is patented. So you must have you can think of that, if the this turmeric has got a patent, how costly it will become in India. And we are using it traditionally for getting healed from the different wounds. And actually, it is our traditional knowledge. So this traditional knowledge, if we are using and if we want to patent it, we know the properties of it, and if we are coming with a product of it, then yes, it is not patentable, and that's why this granted patent is being revoked later after the case they have won in front of the High Court and the Appellate Board of Indian Patents, Appellate Board, IPAB. Okay, so that is very important. So when you are doing this patent, then in that case, the how you if you are thinking that yes, I am coming with some innovative things, then how I should go for patent? What is the process of patenting? So when I'm saying that when you are coming with any idea, though it is negative, yes, you should not disclose your invention to anyone. You should not disclose your invention. Yes, if you are working in group, you can discuss in your group, but you should not disclose your idea in front of anybody. Because when you are saying nowhere, it should not be known to anyone. So that is the criteria which should be fulfilled. So that's why you should not disclose your invention. Then when you are doing or working on that particular idea, you should keep a record of when you got that idea, how you have worked it, what is your design. Everything should be documented. And now why this is important? Because sometimes it happens that other person is also working on that particular idea, and if two person comes with the same idea and file a patent, then if there is a case or there is a infringement case put on the particular person that no, this is my idea and I have first come up with this idea, so that time you will have a proof that yes, on this date I have come up with this idea and hence I have a rights and I have come up, I am the first inventor of this particular invention. Okay, so that's why record keeping is very important. You should not disclose your invention anywhere. Now, there is one case that people are doing PhDs, and in that PhD they have to publish the paper. Correct. So sometimes it happens that yes, I have come up with the innovative idea, but I have not implemented it. So then how I can go for and I cannot publish anything. Then my PhD is people guide is asking to publish something. So how I can make a balance of it? So that is the provision that if you are coming with an idea, if you are publishing an article, and within an 1 year, if you are filing a patent, then the rights remains with you. It is not treated as that particular idea is disclosed to everyone. Okay, so you have that right there. So that is a remedy for PhD people who are pursuing PhD. That yes, you can go for patenting even after you have published something on that particular topic. So then the next is develop the idea and produce a model, at least a prototype you should come up with, so that you can give the whole specification that how you are going to go about it, how that particular invention will operate, and how you are getting the particular results. Okay, so while filing a patent, you have to ask yourself the question why your invention is needed. That is the use of your invention. What the existing products are in the market, like your new product. So, what is the existing product and what is the innovation in your product? So, that is to be compared. What is unique about your product, which is novel and no one has used it. So, if you should be able to answer these three questions while going for the patenting purpose. Okay, the next way, so when you are saying that what is the existing product are in the market like your products and how it is unique from others, then you have to do a rigorous survey for the patent search, that already existing patents, already existing ideas related to your invention, you should be able to search. So there are certain databases available freely, and some people also there is also chargeable data sets for patent search. So Google Patents are one of the open source where you can find out the different patents which are being published and patented over whole world. So that you can do through Google Patents. Even there is one patent scope site through which you can also find out the different patents. This is patent scope is provided by this BPO site, and this is also you can use freely. eSpaceNet is one of the other search engine through which you can find out the patents. So these are there are other agencies too which provide you the searching patent search survey. Actually, this is very costly affair because and it is very important and needful for before going for patenting. Why? Because as I said, that patent is a costly affair because you have to file when you are filing. In India, it is not so costly, but if you are going for international filing, before going for international filing and investing so much amount of money, you have to clarify or you have to validate that yes, your invention is novel, no one is using it, no one has patented anything on it. It is not only matter of patent, but even a single literature or a single paragraph related to your patent already published will make your invention be in a trouble. So that's why a rigorous patent survey is very important. Okay, so these are the three ways I have shown you. But yes, there are other ways also where you will get much more accurate results. And even when you file it, the Indian Patent Office also carry out the rigorous search on it, and based on that, it prepares the examination report. Okay. Now, the very important part of the while framing the patent document is complete specification of your patent. So, when you are saying a complete specification, what things are included? The title is very important. The title given to your invention, it should not be much big, not more than 15 words, and not so small too. So the title should be clear and should convey the convey the actual functional specification of a particular technology. Then you will have field of invention on which your working or your technology belongs to, whether it relates to some medical process or some other chemical composition or any automobile industry. That is your field of invention relates to your invention is related to which field. Then background of the art, that is what is the literature or what are the other patents published or granted related to your technology. That all things you have to elaborate. Then summary of invention, what your invention is actually to the point. Then you have to also describe your drawings. Now this complete specification is actually a techno-legal document of yours, and mostly that's why people go for patent attorneys, because it has a specific way to write a particular document, complete specification document. You have to cite all the patents. You have to justify all the claims. So that thing has to be, and it has a specific format to write. That's why these things are very important. This sequence is also very important. So brief description of drawings, then detailed description of the whole invention. Then the main thing is claims. Claims are very important. Actually, you are getting a patent on the claims and not all other things which you have written related in relation with. So claims to be formed very nicely or correctly, which will cover all your inventive steps, because there is a possibility that once you get write a claim, something you missed and someone else make that small change and get a new patent. So that is also possible. Hence, claims need to be drafted very nicely and correctly, thinking of all the 360-degree thinking of all these 360-degree points related to your invention. Okay. Then finally the abstract, where you have to tell in short, like in your article publish, whenever you do an article publish, then the way you write an abstract, you have to write an abstract. So in a to the point technology you have to explain. It has also limited words of 150. So and drawings, where the drawings has to be specified, and accordingly you have to number all the drawings, and that has to be referred in the brief description of drawings. So this is how that form 2 is drafted. Actually, this is the main draft of your patent, with which you have a form 1 where all your addresses, the address of correspondent, all the contact information is been recorded. So this is the thing which I have already explained. You can see here. So this is one of the example of how this is a product of a bag, and this is a game device having a handle, a throat portion, and a head portion connected to the throat portion, wherein the improvement comprises of protrusion being secured to the handle. So the enhancement, this bat is already exists. This gaming device is already there, but out of which I am claiming this portion where I have changed the design and I have enhanced the functionality of that bat. Okay. So this is the way how the claims are drafted. There are various ways of drafting a claim, but the claims are very important, right? Uh, yes, hopefully I am going right and everyone is getting. Any doubts so far? Any doubts so far? Shall I continue? Shall I continue? Yes, anyone is there?
Hello, ma'am.
Ah,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. You can continue, ma'am.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So is my PPT visible? Patent process in India?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Yes. So this is a patent process in India. This is also available on the site ipindia.nic.in. I will also show that site to you, that how you can search for a patent on that site also. So that is also one of the ways to find different patents related to your technology. So first you will conceptualize an invention. You have to file file of application. Now there are different forms specified on the site of Indian Patent Office site. So you have Form 1, Form 2 and other forms too, related to the proof of right, declaration of inventorship. Then you have other forms related to, if you are taking an agent, you have to file a form of Form 26 for power of attorney. So all these forms are there, and there are two ways of filing a patent. First is like if you are just come up with an idea and you are not sure with the whole design, then you can file a provisional patent or provisional specification of your patent. So in that case, what is happening? You are just disclosing the idea. It is not necessary that you will file a claims also, but you will just disclose the idea, what you want to say, and then within a 1 year, you should come up with the whole draft of a patent with claims. So, what is the usefulness of it? That if you file a provisional specification, you will get effective priority date from that filing date. So, you can reserve your rights from that filing date of provisional specification, so that if anyone else file in between the same idea, then you can always claim that no, I have disclosed it first, hence it is my idea. Okay, so that is the usefulness of provisional specification. So you have either complete specification or a provisional specification. So if you have filed a provisional specification, you have to file a complete specification within 12 months after provisional. So if you file it, yes, then after that, after 18 months, that particular application which has been filed is published on Indian Patent Office site, a journal. Okay, so and if you don't want to wait for it, there is a provision of early publication too, which can be done, which gets published, which publish your patent within a month or so in the Indian Patent Office journal. Correct. So there are two ways, but yes, you have to pay a fee for it. So public and publish under section 11A, which is either early publication you can do, or you have to wait for 18 months. After 18 months, automatically that particular patent gets published. Okay. Then this is like when though you have filed a patent, it is not directly go for the examination. So you have to fill a form for request for examination. Form 18 you have to find within the 48 months from the date of priority. Sometimes people, what they do, they just file an application to secure the priority date, but they don't give the request for examination. So if you want the apply for the request for examination, then you have to file form 18. That's why people say that in within 1600 rupees only patent gets filed. But other forms which are also very important, like request for early publication, request for examination, they need money. So that time the cost of filing forms gets up. Okay, so that's why. And request for examination, if you don't do within 48 months, that the patent application gets automatically rejected. Hence, you have to file request for examination, and as early as possible. Even you can also file this form with the filing of application too. So as early as possible, if you file the request for examination, you will get the early examination result, so that you can get the patent grant process get uh, fast. Correct. So that is there. So here request for examination for Form 80, and now there is also one more facility is provided by Indian government, that you can also expedite the examination process. So there are various conditions where you can fill extra fee, and Form 18A you can fill, and with that you can also get the expedited examination if one of the applicant is woman. Then if it is a startup, if it is with collaboration with the one collaborative country like Japan, so in that case you can expedite your examination of the patent. Okay, so once this examination is filled, you get within 6 months of FER, that is first examination report. So if controller patent controller has the some queries, they raise that queries in FER. You have to file a reply for that particular all those queries. If that is like 4 is issued, so examination, patentability, and other requirements are checked, and first examination report is issued. Then once it is FER is issued, you can amend the documents, whatever if and you shall have to file the reply. So once you file the reply, the controller either accepts those reply, and if it is fulfilled, it can grant you the patent, or it can call you for the hearing of the case. So applicant are invited for hearing. So then after that, within 1 month the hearing, you can get the decision whether the patent is granted or it is not granted. So objection not made within 12 months, the patent is abandoned. Objections made within 12 months, grant of patent under section 43 and publication of grant is done. Okay, so once the patent is granted, uh, for 2 years you don't have to pay any renewal fee. After 2 years, you have to every year you have to renew your patent, granted patent, and pay the fees. The number of years gets increased, the fee also gets increased. Till 20 years, you can maintain your patent. If you stop filing the renew fee, the patent gets abandoned. Okay. Now there is one more thing, that once you get a patent, there can be also a post grant opposition. Even when the patent gets published in here, then also there will be a pre-grant opposition. Now, what is the reason behind publishing this patent? It is saying that this is the invention which these people have filed as for the patenting. If anybody has objection, you can send the opposition notice. Okay, so that they can claim, no, this technology is already there, and we know this, and we are using this. That's why this person should not get patent on this. So this kind of pre-grant opposition is possible. Once the patent gets granted, then also within 1 year, person can file a post grant opposition, and then also the applicant has to uh, give the explanation and prove that this how this patent is different. So that is post grant opposition. Even if sometimes it happens, like a turmeric case which I said, that the patent was granted, but it was objected by the government policies, and even it was not in benefit of the particular person of the public. That's why the patent gets revoked later. Okay, so for that purpose, case has to file, and you have to face the hearing. and you have to justify your the claims. This is the way how the patent process in India takes place. So, if you want to file a patent, there is a site called as ipindia.online government site. If you want to see, I will just show you the site. So, here, so this is the, hopefully the site is visible to you. Yeah. So this is the Indian patent site ipindia.gov.in, and here you can have this comprehensive e-filing. You can have patents, design, trademarks, GI, and this is related to the Rajiv Gandhi National Institute, where the different programs are conducted related to patents. So, if you want to do a comprehensive e-filing, you can click on this comprehensive e-filing. You have e-filing patents ka tab, and where you will be needing a digital signature for filing the patent. You have to keep all your drafts and forms ready, and you have to apply it to this comprehensive e-filing ka thing. Even I was telling about the public search, which is one of the way to find out your patents or the published patent. So you can go here, so you can have multiple different options like title wise, abstract wise, application number wise, everything you can find out the patent. So if you want to find out the patents related to COVID, you just put the term here COVID, and if you say search, so all the patents related to having a title as COVID, all these patents got published here, and all these patents are listed on this side, and you can find out any of these patents here. Application status are been seen, the inventor, applicant names, and you can see the all the documents, how these documents are being shown. You can see this complete specification. You can see how this is a form 2, applicant, preamble, field of invention, block diagram, description. All these things is been given on this complete specification site document. So all these documents are available on this IP India NIC.uk site. Okay, so this is the way how you can see what are the relative patents which are already been filed, so that you can draft your patent in that way. Okay, so this is the way how you can file it. So there are two ways actually for filing a patent. Either you can do online, or you can actual post a hard copy or hand over the hard copy in a patent office. So the person who is a true and first inventor, or the inventor who has assigned their rights to some other person, the assignee, or the legal representative or deceased inventor or assignee. A legal representative means patent agent. These people can file a patent. Okay. Where you can file a patent depending on your territory. So we can say that the patent office shall be the head office of the patent office or the branch office. So these are the different branch office for filing patents. So Chennai, Mumbai, New Delhi and Calcutta are the patent offices where you can designate your patent. So it be based on your residence of your or the applicant of their domicile, place of business, or place where the invention actually originated. Depending on that, you can designate a particular patent branch office for the patent examination. So if there is a foreign applicant who wants to file a patent, then he will write the address of service as his agent or the address of service in India for further communication. Okay, so now you can have either a ordinary patent application. Now the even individual or any organization can file a patent, but individual person has the different fee structure. The private organizations have a different fee structure. Now there is a third category also introduced, that is the academic institution, but academic institution which are related or which are associated or which are government aided. So for them, the government aided institution plus the individual person is treated for the same fee structure. So that is one of the advantages for government aided academicians, because the fee has come down, which was previously stated as the individual private organization. So it's a simple application, should be conventional or national phase application. Even you can have this type of ordinary patent application. Convention application means what? If you want to designate a country as a convention in case of international patent. So this, if you want to go for an international patent, either you can do a convention application, and this is national phase application under PCT. Now, PCT stands for Patent Cooperation Treaty. This is actually, this treaty uh, comes with a number of countries who have a treaty that through a single uh, filing office, okay, you can have you can reserve your rights to file international application. You don't have to, if you want to file a application in five countries, you don't have to file it 5 times. You can just file one PCT application, and then you can select the designated countries, and through this PCT platform only you can file an international application. This international application you have to file within 12 months when you file a first Indian application. Okay, and this has been administered by this WIPO, that is World Intellectual Property Organization. So they also carry out the international patent survey, and then you get a period of 30 months after filing an application to decide whether you want to file international application and in which country. So you get a time of that period if you file a international application. So with this, you have the Indian patent system has, you should have a novel thing. An invention should not be considered novel if it is used or published in India or elsewhere before the date of filing or priority. So novelty relates to this. It should not come in whatever invention you are going for patenting should be novel, and it should be novel and should not be published anywhere, not in India, not in other countries too. Okay, not as a presentation, not as an article, nothing. Okay, so the term of every patent granted is 20 years. Publications, I said that you can wait for 18 months, or you can have an early request for publication. Now, I also told you about opposition, that even either pre-grant opposition and post-grant opposition is possible in patent grant process before granting of a patent or after granting of a patent. Even the patent can be revoked, even it has been granted on any time after the grant of patent on a petition of any interested person or central government by the appellate board, or on a counter claim in a suit for infringement of the patent by a high court. I have given you example of turmeric here. Also the for neem also, that European government has given a patent which has been revoked later for the use of neem. Okay. So compulsory, now there is one concept called as compulsory licensing. I would like to highlight this, that sometimes it happens that the technology is there, and we said that 20 years right we have given. Now for 20 years no one can use that technology until and unless you pay a lot of money. So this is also restricting the growth of the industry. So for that purpose, there is a concept called as voluntary licensing and compulsory licensing. So if I get a patent, I am just paying a renewal fee and I'm not getting any incentive until and unless there is some customer, or until and unless I will commercialize my product. So when I want to commercialize the product, either I can sell my patent directly and take the money, or I can do a licensing. I can give a license to other person to use my technology, and for which they will give me some royalty or license fee for the same, so that I will get rewarded. Now there is one more clause that after grant of a patent, that patent should be workable, and it should prove that yes, that patent is in a live form and it is being used in industry. So if it is not used, it gets revoked. That's why the patent should get commercialized. So when you are saying commercialized, sometimes it happens that person wants to have a monopoly. So if there is one company and it wants that no one else should use my product, and I only will produce it and manufacture it and sell it. So that time all the rights reserved with it and no one else can use that technology. So this is kind of a negative right. So here there is an example of this Natco versus Bayer company. So this Bayer company has produced one drug, that is Nexavar. So this drug was actually invented for curing the cancer patient. Actually, it is not curing; it is just extending the life of patient. So this was the drug they have come up with, and they have got a patent in India. They have granted a patent in India also. So they were all exporting here and selling it, but at a very high price. The price was about $5,000. So it was coming in lakhs. So it was not affordable by the patients of India. So that time this Natco company has came into picture, and they have asked the or requested Bayer Corporation to give the license. So now there is a concept of compulsory licensing, that after 3 years, if someone wants to produce your product, then and requesting through compulsory licensing, they have to provide that compulsory license. They have to license that particular product to it based on some criteria. What criteria? That whether the product which is been introduced is useful, they are available to the people in affordable price or not. So if their conditions are not satisfied, other person can get a compulsory license to produce that particular product or import that particular product. So here there was a case in before the appellate board, and that time NATCO justified that how the product or the drug which is being sold by this Bayer company is not affordable to the public, and how the public are not getting benefited from that particular drug. And NATCO won the case, and then Bayer has to give the compulsory license to this NATCO, and now then NATCO made it available to the public with around, let's say, 8,000 rupees only. So that is why this compulsory license thing is available for the people. Okay, so that is a whatever I say, intellectual property appellate board is constituted for solving these patent cases. So so this is about what compulsory licensing I said. Even you can see this if you want to see what is the fees and everything of all different forms, and everything is given in this fee schedule and available on itindia.nic site. So you can refer that site for fee schedule too. So that is all at my side regarding patents. Thank you so much for patient listening. Hopefully, it will help you and motivate you to file a patent, because uh, this the technology is there. There is lot of motivation given by government to go for startups, and if you have any innovative idea, it will definitely help you to get rewarded. So please file patents, come up with new ideas, use your creative minds, and get rewarded. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deepti ma'am. Thank you. This was indeed an eye-opener session for all of us, an informative one too, ma'am. The session is now open for discussion. If the participants have any queries, they can either post it in the chat box or unmute and talk about their queries. Participants? Deepti ma'am, I have a personal question. Like,
Yes.
how do we go about the foreign patents and Indian patents? Is the patenting process the same, or is there any kind of vast difference, or is there just a major difference about the patenting process?
Ma'am, actually, there are two ways. Once I said about like first you file an Indian patent and then you can file a convention application or
Okay.
through PCT. There is a WIPO site, World
Okay, ma'am.
Intellectual Property Office. That there is a WIPO site through which you can file a PCT application. Now, what this
Okay.
PCT application is doing, it is after filing an Indian patent, within 12 months you have to file it, or you can directly file an PCT application where you can designate the RO office, receiving office as India. Okay. So with that you reserve your filing rights. So you get a priority date from that PCT application credit, the Indian Patent Office application credit, and then you can decide that in which country my invention has much more market, and accordingly then you can designate that country for filing an international application. So PCT application also has their own transmittal fee, and search fee is also there because they carry out again the whole patent search survey, and then it generates a report, and based on that report you can have the decision whether I should go for patent international filing patent or not, because the each for each entry, for each country there is a different patent fees. Okay, and you have to have the tie up with the patent attorneys of those countries, and you have to file those pay those fees for the international filing. So yes, it is different, but you first have to file it in India. You can have a PCT application. For importance of that PCT application, you get a time of 13 months for deciding whether I should go for international filing, to which country I should file, what is the cost, what is my market in that invention market in that particular country, and then you can, uh, in that particular country, you can pay the fees and file your application.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Participants, any other queries?
Is that subject was new to them?
Yeah, I find a lot of students, our own students, and a few students from engineering colleges as well. So
Uh,
I hope it would have been a very useful session for them. Those who are aspiring to be innovative in their future, and for people who want to secure their ideas also.
yeah.
Yeah. So if we do not have any further queries, I think we can wind up this session, ma'am.
Yes.
I thank you again for sparing your time during this session amidst your busy schedule. I know it's a busy schedule for our profession, especially now. So as I said already, this was an eye-opener session for all the people in the session to secure their innovative thoughts and interests through the IPR, intellectual property rights. The session was informative right from the beginning, and it was useful for all of us. Again, I express my gratitude to Deepti ma'am from on behalf of the PG and Research Department of Computer Science and from the management of Hindustan College of Arts and Science as well. Thank you so much, Deepti ma'am. Thank you for
Yes.
the wonderful session.
Yeah.
It was
Thank you. Thank you for
it was a
inviting me. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And for participants, you can find the feedback link in the chat box and give your valuable feedback. in the link that is provided for you all. Thank you all. Meet you all in a similar session after this. Thank you all. Please find the feedback link, which will be posted now.
Deepti ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot for your presentation, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Welcome. Hopefully, it was helpful to you, and it was.
Really, it was nice, ma'am. Very nice, ma'am. It was helpful for us. Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
We'll keep in touch, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.